Now we're down to 51 players. Definitely just check it if it gets to us. Yep. See a queen jack 10 flop. That's a pretty damn good flop for our hand. I'm going to go ahead and leave the value. Under the gun is kind of a moron, so he could have limped a big hand, which is stupid, but it's not something out of the realm of possibility. But I think he would raise here if he did. So I'm going to go ahead and assume we have the best hand most of the time here. Obviously not the perfect card because it completes one draw, so, but I'm going to go ahead and fire again. And that's a pretty good card. Some of the draws have missed. I'm just going to check. Conceivable he's got a 4, but unlikely, and we take it down. Huge pot against the 5th. Perfect. Yeah, so I checked there to try to induce a bluff. He called the flop. What do you have, a double gutter or just a gut shot? And overs to the 4 anyway. What would it do? Deuce wouldn't do anything. So yeah, he just had a gut shot. Here I'm just going to complete, see if he lets me get away with it. If he blows it up, then I'll probably revert in the future to either a raise fold strategy from the small blind. It's kind of hard to represent anything here, so I'm not going to try, especially since he's going to call any 4 or any flush draw the whole time. Thing is, we got some outs if we get called, and it's just hard for him to have much here. I think he would bet a flush draw on the flop. I think he would bet for sure an ace or a queen. So, and we could have a 6, or we could have a queen that we decide to play slow, like queen 10 or something. So, now we just have to give up to the spaz. He probably, I mean, he could just have a 6 here, but whatever he has, we can't continue. The bet there is okay because, I mean, assuming we won't get raised, either we take it down right there, which we'll do quite a lot, or if we do get raised, okay, we don't have to miss. If we do get raised, we have an easy fold, and then, and if we get flatted, we sometimes have outs to an 8, a 7, or a 5. A 5 for sure, but then sometimes even to an 8 or a 7. This guy just does not fold. He's such an idiot. This is a fairly good board to c-bet in general, but just against this guy, I think I'm just going to give up more or less, see if I can hit a card. Yeah, he bet really small. I'm going to peel once, then see. King could be good, Jack could be good. Jack almost always is good. He didn't 3-bet pre-flop, so I mean, ace king is like virtually impossible. And now he just goes ahead and leads, so I think I'm probably just going to I'm definitely value raising. I don't know if I should just shove. I mean, he's such a bad player, he might call a shove with like 2 pair or something, so I'm just going to shove for value. If he has ace king, it's just brutal. So. Problem is, he can easily put me on ace king here, so I don't see him calling very often, but I mean, with the second nuts there and him almost, you know, being virtually impossible for him to have ace king. The auto raise, it's only a matter of sizing, and against a good player, I might size it such that that, you know, smaller to induce a light call. But against a total fish cake like he is, I just decided to go for the whole kit and caboodle. And this guy shows to be pretty gross. He's got about 15x, but his shoving range is going to be fairly narrow, so it will be pretty gross. And he just calls, so. That's okay. So he probably doesn't know what he's doing because confident players either shoving or folding there. So I'm going to go ahead and see that this. It's a decent flop for the type of hands that he would defend. If he check raise, if he check shoves, we're just going to fold clearly. We do have the ace of spades. Checking back here is not the worst, just because we have the ace of spades. So then there's some turn cards that we can flat if he leads into us, but Yeah. So this guy's obviously an idiot because any competent player there is either shoving or folding free. And he didn't, therefore he's not competent. So King 9 was pretty nice to us, two out of 3 hands in a row. So we're up to 3rd and chips. This guy who was chip leader for a long time is now low because he's just an absolute sputard, this gigantic monkey. And we're down to 45 players, so let's get it done. Let's get her done. Let's get her done. I'll let your boy. This guy only has like 13x. I expect Tomito to call if he had a real hand, but he didn't, and he pulled 3 exits, so yeah, it's a little skewy. Skewy, in my opinion. Oh, la 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 la. I actually just, well, it won't matter, never mind. Never mind. The Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Sorry, my kid watches Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, so I sing it sometimes. Whoa. Alright, so let's get this down. What the hell is going on? Alright. So this looks like it's going to end up being a multi-part video for sure. I mean, I'm already an hour and 5 minutes into this video. And I already created a 40-minute video of the early stages of this tournament, which I also already uploaded on PokerTube. But yeah, I'll be uploading this too. This guy 3-bets a fair amount, seems like. It looks like he's got a hand like jacks or 9s or something, I guess. But if he had jacks, I would definitely bet the turn. So now I'm pretty confused as to what he does have. And he snap folds that river, so I don't know what he could possibly have had. Pretty bizarre. Okay, we know Paul McLean is a total skew monkey, so we're just gonna fold the 3-4 off to him. Fold to the min raise. This guy's only got 14x and he's min raising early position. I expect Paul to defend here because he's an idiot. Yep. I wouldn't be surprised to see him just overbet jam right here with like any pair, any draw, or lead anyways. And now I expect this guy to shove quite a bit. I mean, obviously, I think he would shove any pair that he has from 5s up to aces. But apparently he had ace-jack or something like that. 10-6-0, I'm just going to fold on the button. We're down to 42 players. 40 actually. Wow. A couple just busted. So we get at least $280. Which, again, I don't really care about the payoffs until at least 9. 9 gets 4 digits, but I'm really looking for the 5-digit score. Once you've had a couple 5-digit scores, anything that's not a 5-digit score just seems lame. So I have to get 3rd to at least get 5 digits. And I've had at least like 5 or 6 5-digit scores before now. at this point, maybe more. Probably 6. Maybe less, maybe 5. But about that many. We got 25k, 15k twice, 12k, 10k. Maybe that's it, 5. And then a couple that were pretty close to 5 digits, but not quite. Alright, we got the Cowboys, as they call them. And go ahead and give this guy a 3-bet. See, the problem is we haven't established any 3-bet dynamic, so our range is going to be correctly perceived as fairly narrow here. And it's fairly deep. I'm actually going to 3-bet slightly smaller than I would normally, because just because the stacks are so deep. So not quite tripling his open raise size, but still fairly large. If he shoves, we'll snap call, obviously. It'd be really sick cooler if he does have aces. Especially since for such a big, well, flat is very bizarre. Not the best flop just because queens and jacks got there, aces are already there. But I don't really know what to do. We only have 2 times pot left, so I guess I can't really get away from it. I'm just going to see that pretty small and hope to induce something from like ace queen or ace jack or a draw or something. The grossest thing will be if he like check raises really small or something. If he just jams, then yeah, we probably have to call. And I mean, even if he does check raise small, we might still have to get it in, but it'll be kind of gross because his range will be weighted towards like jack. Wow. All right. It's so weird they raise call and then check fold this board. I mean, unless, I guess maybe he didn't want to get in pre for that many big blinds with ace king, I guess. Possibly. That was a weird pot. And now we're second in chips with 40 left. Snap called king 10. Guy only had 10 big blinds, so I guess it's not that bad. Now he's got a crap ton of outs. The guy did hit his ace. Oh, game over. Good game, sir. Now I'm wondering about this sharp guy, whether he's not like a total fish or not. There's not really a lot of hands that makes sense for him to raise, call my 3-bet out of position, and then check fold that board. Looks like he's a decent winner at the 95 level, small sample, or like medium sample. Decent winner, medium sample, 92 level. So we're down to 39 fellows left, and I think I'm finally in the profit zone for the day now. I'm just looking to extend it to the big profit zone. Ace or a jack will do it, but only an ace or a jack. And another guy out, so down to 38. I think, yeah. So hopefully we can get the rest of Paul McLean's chips, because we're pretty sure Paul McLean is the spewy fish shark. Look, it's kind of weird. We only have 6 players on our table, but the other 4 tables all have 8 players. So I guess as soon as one hand finishes on one of their table, we should get, yeah, there he is. We should get one more player. There he is. Disco knot. Snap call. 4s are not quite a snap call. I would have tanked, maybe called, but more likely folded, really. Especially against Lawrence, who's like been pretty damn nitty. King Queen's probably the worst hand in Lawrence's range there.